Hey y'all, thank y'all for tuning into my channel. Today I'll be showing y'all how I got this no eyeshadow beat. If you want to see how I got this beat, keep watching and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank y'all. So to start off, I primed my face with the Maybelline 100 primer. I went in with my Anastasia Beverly Hills foundation in the shade 520. And I just started using this foundation. I like it. This is about probably like my fourth time using it. And I'm using my Real Technique foundation brush in the number 401. You'll see I go in and I use my foundation and I go down my neck. You want to make sure that your face and neck match. You don't want any differences. So the concealer that I'm using is Tarte Shape Tape in the color Tan Deep Sand. And I put this under my eyes, on the bridge of my nose, above my lip, and my chin, as well as my forehead. So everywhere I want to highlight, I pretty much just put the concealer. And I will list in the description box below the brushes that I'm using. If I miss any, everything will be in the description box. Now this particular concealer, I like to let it sit a little bit so that it can thicken and it gives it more of a full coverage, if you will, under my eyes. And I don't put any harsh lines or harsh edges around my concealer. As you can see, I'm blending it out towards the bottom. So I recently learned this technique where I pretty much highlight around my lip area and I kind of make that line to where I'm gonna contour. Y'all can let me know if y'all have tried it or how y'all feel about it, but I recently learned and I kind of like it, so y'all let me know. So when it comes to highlighting my nose, I like to carve out the shape of my nose. It makes it easier when you're trying to contour. It helps you to see where, how you want your nose to be shaped. Some people don't like the snatched look, and I can make a video without the shaping of the nose. However, I prefer this. So you see that I go back in with more concealer, and that's because I've seen that it's been getting thicker, but it's not full coverage enough for me. So I kind of go back in and add a little more to make it full coverage. So to contour, I'm using my e.l.f. concealer in the color Rich Ebony, and I pretty much put that on the sides of my nose, my cheekbones, next to my chin, and if I didn't have my hair down, it will go on my forehead. Now I'm just going in with that Morphe brush. I like to call it a nose contour brush, but I'll put the name and number of the brush below in the description box. But I'm just using this brush and I take off a little product as I'm going and I follow my nose line and I just bring it up into my eyebrows. This will give you a nice nose. Like, it will make your nose look a little slimmer. You want to blend everything together. So you see how I'm going on the sides of my nose and blending out the contour with the highlight. Everything needs to blend evenly together. Now I'm going in with a damp beauty blender. You have to make sure your beauty blender is damp for the best results when blending out your highlight and pretty much blending the highlight and the contour together. And blend, blend, blend. That really takes up the most time, the blending, because you have to make sure everything is seamless and there's no harsh lines. So you have to blend. Take your time when blending. So I went back in with some L'Oreal Infallible Concealer in a shade Toffee Caramel just to brighten up my concealer a little bit. I like a little bit, somewhat of a bright highlight under my eye. So once my Tarte Shape Tape set, I went back in and I brightened it up a little bit. To set my contour, I went in with the Morphe Face Palette, and that's Rich. And I used a bronzer shade just to use that as a powder to set my contour. I personally do not like a dark contour, so this would probably be the only shade that I use to contour my face. I like the neutral or natural contour look. So I'm going in with my Laura Mercier and Sacha Buttercup setting powder. I mix these two powders together to set my face or set my highlight, and I just put this everywhere that I highlighted. So under my eyes, my chin, the bridge of my nose, my forehead, and under my cheekbones. I'm using the same beauty blender. I didn't add any extra moisture to it. It's damp from when I blended my highlight out, so you don't have to add any extra moisture to the beauty blender. You just use the beauty blender the way it is. The hardest thing for me to do was to learn how to contour under my cheekbones. Like, I believe when it came to makeup, that was the hardest thing for me to learn. So if you guys want a tutorial on how to do the cheekbone contour, let me know, and let me know any tricks that you do. So I don't necessarily bake, I just press the powder into my skin and leave it up there until I'm done with my eyes, and then I go back in and dust it off. Now I'm going in with my Morphe brow pencil in a shade Chocolate Mousse, and I carve out the shape of my brows. My brows are sort of thick at the moment. I need to get them done, but I just carve out the shape of my brows. And your eyebrows are sisters and not twins, so they don't necessarily have to be the exact same as long as they look clean and they're symmetrical. You don't have to spend so much time making sure your eyebrows are equal. So while carving out the shape of my brows, at the front of my brows, I like to do little small strokes. It gives it like the hair-like look. I don't go so harsh in the front. I really like the natural look. So I'm going back in with my Tarte Shape Tape Concealer, and I start in the middle of my brow when I'm concealing my brow or shaping my brow. That's just because I don't like to put so much product at the front. It makes it a little bit harder to blend. So I start in the middle and I work my way to both ends. When carving out the top of your eyebrow, you do not want to use much product. When you use a lot of product, it gives it a halo look. Um, use just use the excess product that's on the brush. Don't go back in with more product, and blend it out using your foundation brush, as you'll see I'll do. Because we're not doing any eyeshadow today, I went over my eyes with the MAC Studio Fix pressed powder in the shade NW45 and just set over my eye. For eyeliner, I'm using the NYX Matte Liquid Liner, and when doing liner, I like to make my wing first and then just take the rest of the product and go over my lid. You have to be careful, like I be holding my breath when I do my eyeliner because it's so easy to mess up. So just like for eyebrows, eyeliners are sisters and not twins. Your eyeliner does not have to be the exact same on both sides. They just have to look symmetrical and be even and clean. Don't spend too much time trying to make them the exact same. It takes time to get good at this. So sisters and not twins is what I always say. Now I'm using my Duo Lash Glue and applying it over my eyeliner. Make sure you use the Duo Lash Glue that's in the green blocks. It applies blue, but it dries clear. It is so easy to use and it dries super fast. Now I'm using my Maybelline Colossal Big Shot Waterproof Mascara, and you can really use any black mascara for this. I'm just putting on my bottom lashes, then I go in with a black liner. I'm not sure exactly what liner this is, probably just a hair store liner, and I'm putting it on my waterline just to seal. I call it sealing the deal. I've been putting on lashes for so long that I can just pop lashes on, but I can definitely do a detailed tutorial on how to put on lashes. These lashes are from My Lash Line. It's coming this fall, so be on the lookout and follow me on my social media to keep up. Going back in with my MAC Studio Fix pressed powder in the shade NW45, and I'm just dusting off all of that loose powder that I left up there when I was highlighting. So I constantly go back with my foundation brush and my rose water just so that everything looks seamless. I use my brush to blend out any harsh lines. Any and all harsh lines get blended out. I love blush, and for blush I'm using the Juvia's Place The Warrior palette too, and the shades are Jamata and Zama. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but they're from an eyeshadow palette, and I love these colors for blush. You'll see I go back in a little bit with that setting powder, and that's just for a more matte look. I like for the under my eyes to pop, so I just go back in and set it a little bit more with my Sacha Buttercup and Laura Mercier powder. The lip liner I'm using is the NYX Espresso lip liner, and I just use this to carve out the shape of my lips. I do not overline because I have full lips already. Overlining only makes lips look bigger, and I don't need that. So now on my lips, when I'm doing a nude lip, I like to use concealer. Here I'm using that same concealer, that L'Oreal Infallible Concealer in the shade Toffee Caramel, and I like to use brushes to blend it out. I don't really use the swatches that comes for lips. Now you could either leave it matte or you can add gloss on top of it. Here I'm adding my gloss because I love gloss, and this gloss is from the hair store. It's regular lip gloss. I just squeeze it out and put some on the brush and apply it over that concealer and lip liner. And there I have my new lip. For highlight, I'm using the Juvia's Place, the Nubian Loose Highlighter in the shade Clio. And this highlighter is very pigmented. It is very pigmented, so you have to be careful and use a little bit for this. The statement, a little bit goes a long way, is definitely true. Then I'm going to spray my face down with the Morphe Continuous Setting Spray and blend it in a little bit with my foundation brush again just to finish it off. And there we have it. Our no eyeshadow, neutral, natural look. Thank y'all for watching and let me know how y'all feel about this look.
Top it,